Hello, SNA Assassinators. This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video, and and tonight we're going to be talking about some more football review video, which we're going to be doing right here because this is indeed the Sunday Night Football review on September 15, 2024. It's the Bears taking on the Houston Texans live in Houston, Texas, at the NRG Stadium, to be the exact. Yeah. And was it the greatest game of the day? Well, I wouldn't say greatest would be the strong term, but it was pretty averagely good. It was dominating though, like on the one team. As you if you haven't you don't know what exactly the team I'm referring to, like if you haven't seen, if it's not obvious with my accessories, because I did say I'm gonna be wearing the winning team's colors, and this is like the third straight time that I wore blue, like when it comes to we're talking about either Thursday night or Sunday night football, like because since I'll say like Thursday night football 10 days ago on September 5th when it was the Chiefs versus Baltimore. But don't worry, because next week I will indeed be wearing red because both teams are going to be a red color team, so I'm not going to get into not just yet, probably not until the halftime show, halftime where I'm going to be talking about that, because let's just say like these teams are like, no matter what, I'm gonna be wearing red. So you're gonna see me going back to be wearing red. I hope that'll be much more sooner, but I hope that day may come sooner. But this coming Thursday, I will indeed be wearing either green or blue, because it's the Patriots versus the Miami Dolphins. But for now, we're going to be talking about what exactly went down. It was a complete blowout. I mean, at the end of the game, like the other team tried to do their best, but they were no use. Like the Bears couldn't manage to beat Houston at the NRG arena, and I'm going to tell not NRG, not the arena, NRG Stadium to be the exact. And I apologize for not saying it in the proper term, but I'm going to tell you exactly why they didn't beat them at their own stadium, which is NRG Stadium. And we'd start off with, I believe was Chicago got the ball. Or was it Houston? Maybe Houston got the ball. It was Houston that had the ball. This is where they tried to go run it a little bit, but only got up to like third, and they only could get to like a few yards, which it was like 3rd and 6. And this is where we got what's his name? CJ Stroud. Yeah, CJ Stroud, and they even showed a little video message like from his mother, like telling the story like how it began, and it all started when he was 6 months old, when he could walk on his own, and then when he got a little older, like he wanted to get into football, like because he was a massive fan of it when he was a young kid, and then that's when he started playing for the minor leagues, which led up to him going to play in high school and in college, and then now he's on Houston, Texas, and etc. And that's why he's a recognizable name in the NFL right now. But he got in the game. He managed to get out of the third down dilemma and pass it to one of his receivers. Which, who was it? It was at the 39-yard line, which to the former Bingo Mixon, I believe his name is. Yeah, and then this is where they were like at the 39-yard line, like after running it a few yards, where he passed it right to Mixon. He got another first down, but it looks like he gained he gained like about 16 yards, I believe. Like this is where then we got which they were like at the let's see, 16. So about at their 43-yard line. Yeah, at the 43-yard line is where we got. It's where then we got They placed him out with Atkins, like another running back of the Bears. Not the Bears, the Houston Texans, actually, what I'm saying. But they got stopped by the Bears defense. But yeah, there was nothing slowing them down, though. Even though they even went nowhere, they tried again on second down, like second and 10 to be exact, at the past the enemy territory at the what's that? They passed like the enemy territory at the 40. What our line was? It was at the I believe it was at the 43, if I'm not mistaken, is where he snaps the ball. That's where he tried to throw it, but this is where he gets a flag thrown right in his way, which was none other than a false start, all thanks to offensive lineman, like which was number 76, which it was Kenyon Green that made the mistake, and then that be pushed back 5 more yards. They didn't win nowhere. Like when they tried to go for a run with the running back Mixon, which or maybe they did, but only got like about 2 yards, making it I'm not 3 yards actually, which it was third and 12. This is where then we got CJ Stroud and try to go for it again. Like, but this time looked like he's going to throw, which he did. He looked like he was under pressure, but 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 this is where he pat. What was it? It was who was the running back? I mean, I think it was Mixon. He only got like about a few yards at the what down was it? It was like fourth and I'll say maybe like a 4th and 7, I believe. This is where they go for a field goal kick, which which they were like at about the four. They're like at the 39-yard line, but they were doing like a 56 field goal attempt, which they successfully got the field goal. It was 3-0 now. The first scoring of the game was to the Houston Texans, and that's where they eventually kicked it right into Chicago's way. Like, and yeah, it was not really that much excitement until like the second quarter, let's just say. But we're gonna get to that in just a moment. But this is where we did got the receiver on Chicago when once they kicked it towards his way, he ran it like a little bit over, like for he did ran it for like a good he did ran it for like about a good 30 yards until they ran it for like a few yards until they got into the no they tried to run it, but they were getting stopped right at the actually it was the two like about a couple extra yards we got until we got the quarterbacks Caleb Williams like managed to throw it right into what's his name to his intended receiver, which was which was by DeAndre Carter. That's what the receiver's name is, number 11. This is where them yeah he gained like how many yards was down that play? It was about I think like about 15 yards on the or yeah, maybe 15 yards. This is where he passed it to Carter once again. This is where he got another 10 over 10 yards, maybe like about 12 actually. Got another first down thanks to Carter spotting him before he got sacked. So he threw it to him. They got another first down. It looks like they're about to score a touchdown. Like I was like Houston, y'all better get in y'all's A game, which they kind of did, but this is where then he tried to pass it to his running back Swift, but he gets manhandled by the Houston defense. I was like, oh, okay, like now they're talking, and this is where this is where it's like I should expect this on my bingo card tonight. This is where we got. This is where then he threw it right on. This is where then he passed it to his other receiver that he throws to, and that he was throwing it to. It was DJ Williams. I'm not Williams, DJ Moore. I mean, yeah. or I'll just say more for short. But anyways, yeah. Even though DJ's not much to say, but anyways, you get what I'm trying to say. But yeah, he threw it to him. He gained about I'll say I'll say he probably gained like a little bit over 30 yards. They were like at about the they were like at the 30 no not 30 I'll say the 28-yard line is where he's like, all right, 1, 2, 3, hike. This is where he passed it to Swift, but he only got a couple of yards. This is where we got That's where then we got the lineman was like, all right, like get back in your post. He's like, okay, will do. And this is where we got them trying again. Like even though it was not as probably not as good as the last time. It was 3rd and 9. Well, I probably yeah. That's because they got sacked. Like it was it was it was Anderson, like from the Houston Texans, like came in and went straight to him and just knock him over with a couple of guys on the defense, helping him, bringing him down to make sure it does not. He does not. What's that? Make sure that he does not get a first down, and they got pushed back like around the. I'll say they got pushed back around like the 35, 36-yard line is where we got Cairo Santos. Like then came in and went for a kick. That's where he managed to get up in the uprights and then ties the game with the Houston Texans. It was 3-all. And I was wondering, like I wonder who's going to score the first touchdown in the game. And I guess I spoke that too soon. And this is where we got them kicking it right back to the Houston Texans. This is where they did not just went for a touchback. It seemed like that it seemed like it was like that like in the most of the majority of the night. Like they just want to run it in and try to see if they can do a return touchdown. Unfortunately, none of that happened like on either team. But it's where we got this return man from Houston did run for like a very good like 31 yard line, 31 yards. I mean, well, where the yard line? I mean, or even 32 yards. Let me rephrase that. That's where then the referee was explaining like who exactly who got the flag on, which it was I believe was on the Texans. They got pushed back like about 10 yards, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, because it was a holding penalty. Yeah, I and it's and they said a 10-yard penalty is going to be a first down, but it's going to be the ball will be spotted on their 22-yard line, I believe. But this is where we got Stroud to throw it to Collins, I believe, which he gained like about yards on the play, maybe I'll say less, like maybe an 18-yard throw. Yeah, it was like an 18-yard. No. I think it was actually a 19-yard throw right under Collins, but this is where we got him then passing it off to what's his name, to Mixon, I believe, which he only gained like a few yards. Like it was like second. That's where they start showing from his 2023 season, like on how many longest act like pat was that passes like a consecutive passes without interference is from what's his name, Stroud right here. Like I was like, wow, like I did not know that he that he can really can play ball like that without being turned over. This is where then we got him trying to go for a throw, but it instantly gets that's denied by the Chicago defense, which it was 3rd and 7. And this is where he tried to go for it again. That's where we got. That's where he was lucky a bit that he gained yards to Collins, but it's only just a yard short, like only a gain of 6 at 4th and 1, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And then this is where that's where then we got That's where they were thinking about kicking it. They were like, "No, we got a better idea. How about we just go for it? Like we're in the middle of the field at the like the 49-yard line in enemy territory. That's where it was all worth it because he threw it to Cade Stover, this tight end that was in the right side, fake passing it to Mixon, threw it to him. That's where then he caught it. I was like, wow, like this guy's very impressive. Like, and I need to start looking at the status so I don't look like an idiot when it comes to talking about these guys, so I can be fully aware of them. Like all I know is that they're NFL players, and and these guys are really good. But it's where, but yeah, this is where then they got a new sets of downs. They were at the Bears' 30. I'll say 1 yard. Oh no, 32-yard line. This is where we got. This where. This where. That's where he passed it to his other running back, Tank Dale, I believe that's what his name is, Tank Dale. That's where he got first down and more, and he again he got like a 19-yard gain of that, which he was at the 13. He was like a down away from being in the red zone. That's where then like it's not already, I should say, and that's where then the coach. At least the offensive coach on the Texans, I believe, like he was smiling and giving a big grin. It's like it seemed like my team is about to win, and this is where then we got it, it, that's where then we got Mixon and try to go for a run, but this is where we got the Bears was there to make sure he does not even pass the bottom line of scrimmage of gaining at least a yard. This is where the referee then threw a yellow flag, and I was like, gee, I wonder where that came from. And then this is where we got, and this is where the both coaches were like they were so confused. Like, what was the flag on? This where we got the Houston Texans coach was whispering in the referee's ear about something. I don't know what he was saying about that. This is where we got the referee was like after the play, like unsportsmanlike conduct, and it's gonna be on the offense on number 12, which was none other than Collins of the Houston Texans, which they. Well, yards, and I was like, but the thing was like Stevenson from the Chicago Bears was pointing at his face mask, like and if anybody should have been penalized, it should have also been him as well, along with Collins. Without losing his temper and then pushing his face, like they should have. I'll say they. With even the commentators on the right onto the desk even said, or behind like on the commentary booth up on the stadium even said that they were like, yeah, like they were both guilty in this point. Like I don't understand why both of them wasn't penalized. I was like, yeah, that's a good point. Like not nothing against none of these guys. Like just saying like it would have made sense and it would have been only fair if they did penalize both teams for being so unprofessionally like putting their hands on each other's helmets like that, like and most specifically their face masks. But no matter because like the Texans did not let that bother them. This is where we got a little showing on the outside onto the on the in Houston, Texas. It seemed like that it was popping tonight. Like even not in the football side of things. Like even with them having a little carnival in town, I guess you could say, in the city of Houston is where we got. There's where we got what's his name? Caleb Wilson. Not Wilson. Williams. Why did I say Wilson? Caleb Williams like snaps the ball like at 2nd and 24. This is where then he throws it right onto Collins. This is where he jukes both guys, like when he caught it right past the line, ran into the straight in the end zone, but there was a flag on the play. And then this is where then the referee then explained who got the penalty flag. And then this is where and that's where that's where he was like it was a illegal hand to face, and it was on the defense, which it was a declinable penalty. Like with the fans start cheering along, like glad it was on the Bears. And I was like, these like dang fans, like you don't have to be that harsh. But it's where then he's like, result of play is a touchdown, which the the which it stands because the penalty was not on the what's it called? Because the penalty was not on the Houston Texans, of course. So they kept the touchdown, got the extra point. It was 10-3, which they were leading by a touchdown because they just scored one. This is where then we got them kicking the ball right back at Chicago. As soon as they got that done with, this is where then we got Chicago like receive the ball, but they managed to keep it as a touchback to get in at the 20. This is where that's where we got what's the name? Caleb. Well, that's a Caleb Wilson on the Houston. I meant to say what's his name? I'm so stupid. CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud like threw it right onto the Collins in the end zone, which the Houston Texans lead by 7, which is 10-3. But anyway, this is where we got Caleb Williams. Then snaps the ball. This is where he passed it to Moore, but this is where he only maybe barely got a yard, which it was 2nd and 9, I believe. But this is where we got Williams. Then oh no, they didn't even went nowhere. Like they got pushed right back. This not pushed back, but they got stopped on play. But this is where he passed it to his other receiver, which it was the Romo Dooms this like for a gain of 6 or 7, which I believe it was a gain of 6. Yeah, I was right because it was 3rd and 4 after that, and then this is where they then try again, like by going for a throwing play, but this time passing the first down line of scrimmage. This is where they try to go for a trick play. This is where we got, but it seemed like it backfired because the Houston Texans were prepared for anything that they were prepared for anything that the Chicago Bears were offering, anything that's been thrown in their way. And then this is where they put what's the name, Caleb Wilson, right up and under pressure. He had to throw it away, throw it into the right side. This is where he was very frustrated about it. This is where it was 4th and 4. This is where then we got their punter and kick it right onto the Houston Texans. This is where then they started off at the, I believe was what side of the field? I believe was they're like at the 22. And it's where we got Mixon and trying to run it like to get at least a couple yards, but he didn't really know where. Chicago's defense were too much on him. This is where we got what's the name looking at the digital plays. CJ Stroud. This is where he was like, okay, like that's the next play. Like in case if it's a 2nd down, like they got prepared like for what plays they're going to be doing. Like what if it's the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th play. And this is where then 4th down plays. Let me rephrase it. This is where he snaps the ball. This is where then he then try to. This is where they try to. This is where then he try to throw it right into his running back Mixon, but this is where Jalen Johnson denied it, deflated the ball. And he's like, nope, not today, not any day. And it was 3rd and 10, like incomplete. This is where then they try to go again with CJ Stroud was focused, and he passed the intended receiver, which is the star of the receiving game of in the offense side of the Houston Texans, and also not to mention the SNA assassinator himself, Stephon Diggs. Like he was there to catch the ball. He got about like I'll say what was it, like about maybe 15, 16, 17 yards perhaps. But yeah, this is where we got our other receiver on the right was in motion, with them being distracted with them, but only one guy was focused on him. But I'll say maybe he got like about like maybe like a 17-yard pass, like with him catching the ball and then running it in the end and out of bounds. He got 1st down, and I was like, yeah, this is why this guy is the best in the receiving game. I was like, maybe not over like guys like a name, like including some from the Kansas City Chiefs, but I can say that he is very fantastic. Yeah. And I hear like I said on plenty of my other videos, like before, like I did heard that he could happen to be an SNA assassinator, considering him wearing colorful masks before. But we're just gonna have to investigate that in a different video. But anyway, that's where we got it's where we got. I believe the Bears challenged the game. Like the challenge. This is where the coach on the Chicago Bears tried to challenge the the play. Like with is he sure that Stephon Diggs got the got the first down before they can move on into the next plays. And this is where the referees were under review, like to see like if Chicago's going to win this challenge, or do you think, or my God, win this challenge, or if the Houston Texans are going to win, and if the Chicago Bears does lose, then they lose to timeout for a bad call of saying that it was an incomplete pass, but. and then and this is where the referees confirmed that it indeed was a catch, and I was very happy for Diggs, like to get a first down, and then this is where we got because they showed like he had the foot down in bounds, and then he dragged the other leg in, so it was a first down. This is where it was like, okay, well, any further delays, let's snap the ball. This is where we got C.J. Stroud like nearly got sacked by one guy in the defensive, but it's where then he. That's where he juked him. This is where he went to the right side. He was under pressure, but he managed to throw it to his intended receiver, which was none other than Collins. This is where he got a gain of like what was it? He was at the 38-yard line, and he was they like, and where he threw it at was like what's his name? But where he threw it at the 40, he was like at he threw it like around at the 44-yard line. So gain that like about like so say he was like the 44, 45, 46. So I'll say about 38. So that like 18 yards. He got like about an 18-yard pass. After that under pressure, this is where we got and I was very shocked when like Stroud did manage to did that. I was like, wow, like he really just juked all of them and just got this play, and this is where they passed it to Nixon, but he only got like a gain of two, I believe. This is where it was. No, it was a gain of one, only one gain of a yard. This is where it was 2nd and 10. This is where they try to go do it again, but this is where you only got like about. It was third. What was it? It was like third and like which he passed it to his other running back, which was Dale, which he got like about only like 3 yards because it was third and 6. This is where then we got which was they were at like pretty much the 35-yard line. Is where then he was like 118. I said hike, and that's where then he tried to throw it right. I would say not the 34-yard line. This is where he passed it to Stephon Diggs. This is where he got it at the first down marker when he dived right in. Even though he went out of bounds afterwards, like when he faced it across the line of scrimmage, is where the referee's like, yeah, like it was like you're almost there, but like not stuck. But it's still a fourth down. You're a yard short, and this is where then the SNA assassinate, the soon to be SNA assassinator was like, dang it, and then this is where and this is where we got the coach on the Houston Texans was like, oh, come on, ref, I that should have been a first down. Like I'm gonna challenge this one. This is where he was challenging it. This is where the referees then came up with the results. Like and then it seemed like that This is where I believe like the results were. But yeah, like this is where it turns out that excuse me, my bad. It turns out that the play was that the ruling on the field stands, and it was incomplete as a first down, and he was just a yard short, so they just end up getting the field goal. That's where then it was 13 and it was third it was 13 and it was it was uh it was 13-3 now. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, with the Houston Texans are winning. Hope I didn't don't sound like if I'm pronouncing Texan as Texas, by the way. Let's move on to the next next the next slide where they kick the ball right onto the Chicago Bears. Is where we got That's where then we got the Houston Texans immediately did so. This is where they I believe they try. This is where then we got them just went for a touchback. This is where then we got or maybe not. I think they got like about they ran it at the 30. This is where they started at the 30. This is where we got Caleb Williams. Then they passed it right onto Swift, like DeAndre Swift, I believe that's what his name is. This is where he only got like about like maybe 8 yards. This or no 7 yards. This is where he passed it to Swift once again. This is where he only he only got a shy of an inch, like of a yard. This is where it was 13 inches. But this is where they tried to go for it again, but they didn't even sniff near the 40 because they got pushed right back. They didn't win nowhere. It was 14 inches. This is where Edward in Chicago was like, maybe we should go for it right here. It's only just an inch of a yard, which they did. That's where Caleb got his one receiver in motion. This is where then he passed it right on to on to Khalil Herbert, but it's where he crossed the line, but he got pushed right back. But it was too late because he crossed the line of scrimmage. It was the first down, no takebacks. This is where then we got them started at that line at the 40. This is where we got and then this where we got DeAndre Carter. Then they got a reception by Caleb Williams on this slot on this round is where they were like second and fourth. You got a gain of 6 yards. This is where then we got this is where then we got That's what that's what then we got Caleb Will trying to go for a fake pass right onto I believe was what's his name? Carter, yeah, that's who. Carter was in motion. He was running from the left to the right. That's where he fake passed him. That's where he tried to throw it to Swift, like when he was under pressure, but he accidentally dropped it. It was third and fourth, and that's where then we got. That's where then we got Caleb Williams. Is like, I know it was all an accident, but you really had to drop it. Like no matter, because we are like no matter because like if we don't get this one, then it and we are, we are SOL basically. Like this is where then he put led all his receivers right onto the side, like trying to confuse the defense. This is where we got Caleb Williams trying to go for a go try to go snap and try to throw it right onto whoever his intended receiver is. This is where they call they it was a Edward, Edward, and he was like, it's like there's no penalty, like only just a call for a timeout, which it was the Chicago coach called for, and then this where explained like they will be getting a timeout, and this where it was like it was 6 minutes and 58 seconds on the clock on the second ending or the second quarter. Let me rephrase it. The second quarter is where we got Caleb Williams and go right back. This is where try to go for a throw on whoever his intended receiver was, but there was a flag on the play, and this was an actual penalty this time. That's where it was a false start one on Chicago. Fans were cheering their loudest when they hear that it was the it was the Bears. Yeah, the Bears is lineman number 58, right, and then this way then we got. That's where then he tried to go for it again. Like even though they got pushed 5 yards back, but it doesn't matter. It's like 3rd and 10, but a yard gained onto this matter. That's where we got Caleb Williams. Like okay, 132, 33. Like I'm gonna count all the way to 135. The 150. Like the hike, and then that's where he started trying to dodge and blitz everybody on the defense, but it looked like it was promising of him juking on everybody except for one guy tripping right over, grabbing him by the legs, and there was no other than uh, by Derek Barnett, the defensive end from the Houston Texans. That's where he tripped him right over, managed to not go for a successful reception. I bet if he had enough time, enough room to run, he probably would have been successful either running it or he would pass it to a receiver that's ready to catch it that could possibly be open. But none of that happens. He got sacked. They got pushed back 8 more yards, which was 4th and 17. That's where they had no choice but to punt it right onto the Houston Texans. That's where That's where that's where then he kicked it near the 10 yard line. That's where but it went out of bounds. Like so, there was nothing that the Houston Texans could do anything about it. Or yeah. But this is where we got this is where we got mixed. This is where we got mixed in to try to run it but this will run it, but even with nowhere. This is where he got clobbered and Mac trucked by Brisker, one of the defensive ends on the Chicago Bears. Is where he's started shaking hands with his fellow teammate. This is where it was like, yeah, that's what we talking about here. And then this is where then we got. This is where then we got. Let's see. That's where we got what's his name? The CJ Stroud then was nearly under pressure once he snapped the ball, like on 2nd and 2. Like I believe he lost some yards from the defense. Like what's his name? Mixon on accident is where he passed it to. I believe Mixon, which they got like about only 8 yards, I believe. This is where they were like. It was like 3rd and 4 now. This is where then we got a Stroud and was like 118. I said now I hike, and this is where he snaps the ball. That's where it looked like he was about to run it, but he ends up getting. That's where then the linebacker Edward then ramsacked him right into the middle of the field, pushing him back, and then they end up losing some yards, like right onto Stroud, like along with Barnett. I believe that's what his name is. The defensive end is where they double team poor C.J. Stroud. Is where they were like at the 11, back at the 11, and it was 4th and 11. I was like, how ironic is that? And then this is where then we got. Yeah, that's where Houston had no choice but to kick it right back to Chicago. Yeah, this is kind of sounding a little boring, but it's going to get a little interesting during the middle of the game. But it's where he kicked. That's where they kicked it right near the 50-yard line. Like I was like, that does not sound good. Like let's hope that it gets at least at the 40-yard line in the enemy territory. But unfortunately, that was exactly at the 50. They gained like about 7 yards by passing it to Swift, but this is where then he tried to go for a run, but there was no gain on the play. This is where then it was 3rd and 3. This is where it was 2 minutes and 54 seconds remaining, but it was keep ticking until it got like at 2:30. This is where they finally figure out what play they're gonna what they're gonna do next. Is where we got Stroud. I mean not Stroud. Caleb Wilson. I mean, like Caleb Williams, like snaps the ball, throws it to Moore, which he gained first down, which it was at the 26th, I believe. Yeah, which it was a gain of 16, of course. This is where then we got it was at the 26th gain of 16, of course, is where we got this is where I believe they called for a time. Oh no, it was not a timeout. It was a 2-minute warning. It was because after the after that after that play, it went the time went out completely. This is where we got a quick pass right on to by Williams. With him trying to throw it right onto the Petrie, I believe. Oh no, not Petrie. What I'm talking about? I'm talking about not the coach. I mean the what they call it, the receiver, of course. What's his name? It was Cal. It was Calver. Yeah, Calorie. Yeah, Calvary. Yeah, that's what his name is. Number 14. This is where we got Williams. Then passed it right on to Swift, but yeah, but that's where the linebacker on the Texans stopped him right on like from gaining a few yards, which it was like third and like third and 9, actually a yard. Actually, the only gain is where we got. Is where then it was to a Toho. Yeah, that's what his name is. The this this linebacker from the Houston Texans. Like I was like, yeah, this Houston defense is definitely working overtime. Like not trying to be embarrassed like in a primetime game in their own stadium. This is where then we got Caleb Williams. Then try to go for like some kind of a trick play. This is where he snapped it at three on third and 9. This is where the referee then throw the flag out. This is where it was another false start from Chicago. And then this time was number 58. It was right for the second time, and this is where they got pushed back 5 more yards. It was third and 14. After that, at the 30, this is where which was the Houston 30, I should say. Yeah, this is where then we got Caleb Williams throwing it right right onto Dante Carter, I believe. But that's where then we got that's where the Houston defense made a mistake by tackling him on the ground before the ball was there. This is where the referees saw it. They pulled the flags down. This is where they're like, this is where they're like, pass defense. No, number like what number he was? Number 21, which it was number 21, the corner. What's his name here? Like with him trying to go for an interception, but he knocked over what's his name? DeAndre Carter, which is none other than Bullock. Yeah, his name is Bullock, which I bet he get a lot of nicknames of him and the Houston Texans Bull, like considering his last name, and and also not to mention like his, and also not to mention consider his last name, and not to mention the logo onto the logo onto the football team is where then we got is where then we got Caleb Williams then have is where then he had his is where I believe what was it that was number 15. It was well, I totally forgot, but yeah, I'm trying to remember right now, but this is where he went in motion, but this is where he passed it to what's his name, to Swift, but this is where the flag was thrown. It was another false start from Chicago, but this time it was number 84. It's just like they just cannot get a break though, which it was none other than the 19-year veteran Mercedes Lewis. Like he accidentally like moved right back, like looking like if he like if he like like if what's the name, Caleb Williams snapped the ball. This is where they had the 19-year veteran. They showed the and hyping him up, and he's the age of 40 years old. He's been drafted like in 2005, and then he'd been playing for or was it 2006 actually? Uh, yeah, it was 2006 actually, and they showed him like it was like he'd been playing for the what's that the like the Miami Dolphins. Not Miami Dolphins. It was the Jacksonville Jaguars. Then he moved to the Dallas Cowboys. Now he's on the now he's on what's it called on the Houston Texans now. Like, but yeah, like this is where. But that's where then we got it was first and goal now because they managed to run it like the few yards they had. This is where we got Caleb Williams to try to run it in the end zone. He was just like about 2 yards short away from making it in there for a running quarterback sneak touchdown, but they got stopped. But he got stopped by the Houston defense, and yeah, they were on their game today. Like even though like Chicago did their best of scoring like the points that they got, but it was not enough to defeat the hometown the hometown team. This is where we got what that's where we got what's it that name didn't go for a fake pass to Swift. He tried to throw it to I believe was on what it was he fake passed it to Swift and then he threw it right onto uh, it was yeah, Kundum Day, I believe that's what his name is. Let's see. It was number 15. He was like, but yeah, he was so close of making a touchdown. Like I thought he was with that one-handed catch, but he got stopped by the defense on the in the corner position of the Houston Texans. This is where they start playing the Undertaker's bell dinging theme music, and this is not the only time they were playing this. They were playing this like, and towards the end of the game, which we're gonna be talking about in just a moment. I was like they like, and I was like, that's definitely probably going to be pointed out by somebody in the IWC on the wrestling news tomorrow, and also we're probably going to be hearing probably a response from the dead man himself with the Houston Texans while we're playing his theme song on the on in the stadium's I'll say like DJ area, like with the DJ playing all the jams, like including that, like which is which is the like most football fans just like because they just love the music with the bells like doom 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 doom. Doom. Yeah, you get the point, but yeah, like kudos to the Houston Texans for doing that, and I believe that the Undertaker is from Texas. Let me know in the comments down below. But that's going to be for a different video for a different day. But this is where we got Caleb Williams then and had what's his name? Had number 15 is in motion, but this is where we got mixed. He passed it to Herbert, the running back. It was Herbert. Like this is where he running in for the touchdown. This is where they finally were keeping up with the Chicago with the Houston Texans. But even though like they're still like about 3 yards short, like they needed if they want to tie it, then they had to gain a field goal. But but the thing is, they had to kick it right back to the Houston Texans, and the only way they can get it back if they can stop them either on fourth down or get them, or and also, but that's easy said and done because there was 30 seconds left, but a little bit over 30 seconds left, and but like they have to do like incomplete passes and try to have him be under pressure, or like they had to intercept it by either causing a fumble or a pickoff or whatever the scenario should be, but. But yeah, they kicked it right into the Chicago Bears back into their side is where it was. Let's see, it was. That's where I tried to throw it, but that's where we got yeah. What's his name? It was the quarterback on Houston. It was C.J. Stroud. This is where he was trying to wonder like who to throw it to. He was under pressure. He had to throw it away. That's where then we got. That's where then. That's where it was like 2nd and 10 at the 40. I was at the 47-yard line, if not the 40. I'll say, yeah, maybe the 47-yard line because they did ran it pretty much and gained yards like before this. This is where we got CJ. This is where we got CJ Stroud found his intended receiver on the right. This is where he run right to the right, throw it right towards Collins, which he caught right into the right side. This is where then that's where it said it was a complete pass, like with them doing this hand gesture like this, like if there's some like some sideways windmills. This is where then they start they but this is where then we got this is where we got the NFL, like the headquarters in New York, like try to do under a review, like what exactly this was, like what exactly this play was with Collins, like when it got like his foot was down, like when he got the possession, but this is where he got the right foot in, but it wondering like the first step in his left foot, like did he had a full possession of the ball and his foot was still in the ground. And this is where then they reveal it. This is where I believe there was overturned. I believe, like which no, it wasn't. It was actually was it stand as a first down. Like and it seems like that Chicago lost the timeout because of it, and now I believe it was their last one. This is where that's where they were starting at the what's that the I'll say the 40. The not the 40. I'll say the third. I'll say the 36-yard line. Yeah, but this is where we got another play from the Houston play, Texans. But this is where the referee then roll the whistle. This is where it was like false start. It's on the offense, number 78, which it was none other than Tunsil, like Tunsil. Tunsil. Hope I pronounced that name correctly, by the way. But yeah, he was holding on to one of the Chicago's defensive men, like on the right side onto the defense. Well, his left, like Chicago's right, and he was hanging on to his, I believe, his jersey, I believe, like which it got them pushed back like about 5 extra yards, which was like 1st and 15, if I'm not mistaken. Like, and it was like at around the 41-yard line. Yeah, it was at the 41. This is where then we got. But this where and this but must have made a mistake because it was under a New York review, like and not Chicago did not challenge that play, like with what's his name receiving the football, Collins. Yeah, that's what his name is, Collins. Like yeah, it was a New York call, not a Chicago. So they got their timeout back, and then they used it to get a timeout. Like when it was like about 9 seconds away. This is where we got 9 seconds from the second quarter. This is where we got. That's where then we got what's his name, Stroud to try to throw it to somebody, but he was under pressure. But he threw it right into the out of bounds, and this is where Chicago was spread out. Like to make sure that no receiver makes it in the end zone, and they'll be beating them by and beating them by like 10 points. But this is where Houston was like, all right, like if we cannot beat them by 10 points, like we'll just beat continue to stay in the lead, but by kicking another field goal. But like it'll be almost like beating them by a touch. It'd be like beating them with a touchdown lead. But the only difference is that we only got 6 points and no extra point like into that in that situation, which he which he uh, which he which he managed to do so. He kicked it right from the 59, and this where then he kicks it, and then he got the ball. He kicks the ball like it went a little bit way to the left, but it managed to go through the uprights. And yeah, kudos to that kicker of the what's his name was Fairbear, and I want to give kudos to the Fairbear for doing such an amazing kick. Like if he's Houston Texans Harrison Butker, they're a little personal version of him. but but yeah, this is where then they kicked it right back to the Chicago Bears. They didn't have enough time like to try to come back and answer right back. So this is where they just I believe they kneeled the ball, if I'm not mistaken. Like, yeah, that's what happened. Like, and that's where then we got this where then we got one of the reporter ladies then interview the coach of the Houston Texans. His name was Dem- Demeco Ryans, which I believe they did say he used to have been a football player, and he played for a team like what was it? It was the Tennessee Titans or the Dallas Cowboys. Let me know in the comments down below, like when which team he played. But that's where then he say like all we doing is like looking through the plays and like and trying to and we're just trying to get the better of Chicago, which that's all being said, and then let's say they got the better of the of like the mid northwest team, I guess you could call them, like the South Midwest team, I guess you could say about Houston, but yeah, this is where they start talking about on this the halftime show segment, like with like which teams won on the Sunday games, which it was none other than the New Orleans Saints. Like they completely blew out Dallas. I believe they were in New Orleans. Like they had a little after party. Like afterwards, like they were celebrating. Like all the teams were having some drinks and doing dances and listening to some very loud and fun music. And because yeah, they completely embarrassed what's they named the Dallas Cowboys like 44-19, that's like how many points they beat them? Like it was I'll say about like 25 points. They beat them by 25 points. Like, yeah, that was completely embarrassing, even though they were at home, like, and they beat them, but still embarrassed. But this is where they also showed the Rams like getting beat by Kyler Murray of the Arizona Cardinals. Like with him, like they just completely scored them out. Like I totally forget what was the score, but I do remember the Minnesota Vikings defeated what's his name? What's their name? The San Francisco 49ers, which it was like 23-17 or something. Which they showed like when one play like that when what's name received the ball and made a touchdown, Justin Jefferson. It looks like he updated his of his dance he was doing back last year, like he did this with the hand gesture, but he did it. But this time he did it like sideways, and then do the thing hand gesture with his eyes. And I was like, yeah, like what a creative guy in football. Like, yeah, like he just know how to do moves when it comes to celebrating a touchdown celebration, I guess you could say. But But yeah, and also we got my favorite part of the game of the day of the game, even though it was a close game, but still it was very fun to watch. Considering I'm a fan of them, and that was the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. It was a back and forth contest, but when the Chiefs were leading the most majority of it, like with I believe at first it was Cincinnati that lead, like with them getting a field goal, and then the Chiefs get by one, and then they made touchdowns. With Cincinnati got a field goal, and then the Chiefs made I believe another touchdown, but and then Cincinnati then starts scoring a couple. No, after that they scored a. Well, I believe they made a touchdown, but they also Like I don't know what kind of points they scored, but I remember the Chiefs made a defensive touchdown, like trying to lead by 3 points by getting a 2 point conversion, but it failed. They failed doing so, but failed, and this is where we got Joe Barrow trying to lead the offense of making another touchdown, but this is where they got stopped at fourth down and like in the middle, and this is where they had to kick a field goal, which was like 20. It was like 25-23. Yeah, it was like 25-20. But luckily, the Chiefs managed to get into the field goal range. Like it looked like it was hopeless at fourth down, but luckily there was a flag on the play because one of Cincinnati's defensive team was holding on to I totally forgot what. Oh yeah, it was Rasheed Rice, which it was a pass interference penalty. That's where we got Harrison Bucker got put in place for the field goal range, over 50 yards. He got the field goal for the win, but there was only 3 seconds left. And yeah, they won by 26-25. And yeah, and then this was a perfect game to watch. Along with San Francisco and Minnesota, and also Arizona and the Rams, and the Saints and the Dallas Cowboys, which that was totally, even though that was embarrassing, but it was still was pretty entertaining to see that highlight. But but yeah, but speaking of the Kansas City Chiefs, they will be heading to Atlanta, Georgia for the for Sunday Night Football next week on September 22nd. Yeah, September 22nd, which will be Sunday Night Football, which will be the Chiefs versus the Atlanta Falcons, which they're going to be in their stadium, which is I believe the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. But yeah, let me know about that in the comment section right down below. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna be wearing red either way. So expect that to be happening. Maybe you'll be seeing me wearing this Chiefs shirt, if not my Travis Kelce jersey. But yeah, that's where we got the game back on. Is where we got the Chicago receiver, which was the tight end. Uh, it was it was Co- Co- uh, Kokeman, yeah, that's what his name is. Kokeman. That's where he threw it to him. That's where then he got only got about 2 yards though. It was third. It was second and 7 at I'll say at that it was third. It was third. I mean not third. Second and 7. What am I even talking about? At the 30. I'll say the 33-yard line is where then we got Caleb Williams snaps the ball again with his receiver in motion. Is where he passes it to his running back Swift, but he only got only a few yards at it was a couple of yards shy away from a first down. It was 3rd and 3. He only got 4 yards, considering it was 2nd and 7. This is where then we got Caleb then snaps the ball again, but with his running back was in motion as well, trying to throw it right onto Carter, but it was incomplete. With him overthrowing it right into the upper left side of the field, which it was 4th and 4. That's where they start shaking their respective heads in shame. This is where That's where they punt the ball right back to Houston, but they managed to trip him over, like making him fall down underneath the 10-yard line, which I believe the Houston Texans are going to be starting at the. I believe what was they were starting at the 9-yard line, if I'm not mistaken, but but yeah, they did not let that bother them because they did got a couple of yards with their running back, which I believe was Mixon, I believe. Yeah, it was. He only got like a 2 yards, but this is where Brisker like made sure that he did not get much more. This is where they went to a group huddle and wondering what's on the next play on the second down drive. This is where then we got who that Stroud tore to. It was next it was with them finally like after their like and this where like we got the like when they were group huddling, this is where they went right into commercial break, which is the most powerful force in all the sports and entertainment. Even though this is football, but it's still a sport and it's very entertaining. So this I guess occurs in sports and entertainment. But that's where like but the real reason why they went to break because it was because somebody on the Houston Texans were not feeling medically well, and it was and let's see, like it was one of their I'll say like it was like one of one of the managers of the Houston Texans like he just collapsed down, and it looks like he has a very serious medical issue. And I hope for a speedy recovery for him. Yeah, wish all the positives in the world. Like, yeah, because nobody don't deserve to lose. Yeah, nobody does not deserve to lose their life. Like, which I'm not saying that he is like I'm just saying, like I just want to wish the speedy recovery for anybody involved, like in this game or any other game, like or any other prime time. Like which again, like wish him a speedy recovery or pray for a speedy recovery. Let me rephrase that. But this is where they showed some respect by stopping the game right in the middle of this. This is where the Houston Texans team were kneeling for the guy, like in that's where then that is where then like they regrouped and this is where then we got they were like okay how about we'll just like let's redo this let's do the snap right here. This is where they did so this is where they did it for him. They did this play for him, like along with them genuinely playing this prime time game. Like in this where we got CJ Stroud threw it right onto his intended receiver out of the out zone, I guess you could call it, like in the like near the 10-yard line, like by their end zone, like so they won't get 2 points, get a 2 point safety, so he won't get a sack and give Chicago 2 points for a safety. And that's where his receiver was none other than Collins, like the guy he loves throwing to. Like first to him, then second to Diggs. This is where he did a double. He did a double fake pass to his running back and receiver, trying to throw it right onto who was it? It was Andre. What what it was what's the running back's name that he passed it to? Dale, that's what his name is. It was Dale that he he ran it in running in for a couple of yards, but he got pushed down and went nowhere. I believe he lost yards. Actually, is where he was at. He was he was like 3 yards away where they originally was at, which was like a second and 13 at that time. This is where he ran it right at the, I'll say the 31-yard line. With him with Stroud throwing it to Mixon. This is where Mixon was grabbing onto his right leg, started hopping, and I was like, like this doesn't look good. Hopefully that he's not. I hope that he's not medically hurt in any capacity because it seems like they need him the most because he's the important player, just like someone like a Stephon Diggs or even what's his name, Collins guy that's on the that's from the Houston Texans. That's where they put him into the little medical tent to to see what injury sustained, or if it's any injury. That's where the CJ Stroud then try to go for the next snap. Like this is where he tried to throw it to somebody. This is where then it was we tried to throw it to Dale that was right into the right middle side, but this is where he accidentally drops the ball once he had when he had a little a tip of a touch of on each finger to try to recept the ball and try to gain about maybe over 50 yards, but he dropped it at the last second, which he put his head in shame with the corners that were trying to stop him from catching the ball. Was very excited and happy that he did not catch. Celebrating a little early, which I don't think they should have been doing that because they were a touchdown. They're still a touchdown short, and behind, of a touchdown behind that they need to worry about, and then it was not helping that they were celebrating if they're already in the lead, but they gotta make a touchdown first, so before they can even do anything. But this is where we got. But anyway, this is where this is where we got the Houston Texans kicks the ball right onto the Chicago, and they made the ball go right at I'll say the 7-yard line, onto Chicago's. This is where the Chicago then was trying to blitz around. This is where he almost got sacked, but this is where he threw it away right to the right side. This is where there's the flag was on the play. This is where the referee explained what exactly who got flagged on, and it was on the defense on Houston's, which it was a pass interference penalty, and it was an automatic first down, which was a good sign. That don't have to worry about giving Houston a 2-point safety because they got a few yards extra, about 12. They got gain of 5 yards and an automatic first down, which they were at the 12 rather than the 7. This is where then we got Caleb Williams then passed it right to his running back Swift, but he lost 3 yards once he got the passing yards because the Houston defense stopped him right when before he can even pass the bottom line of scrimmage. This is where. But that's where then we got let's see. That's where then we got it was a 2nd and 14. This is where then he tried to throw it right to his intended receiver in the right, but he was under pressure and it went over out of bounds. 3rd and 14. This is where then we saw that's where we got then Caleb then tried to run it for himself, but he didn't really went that much far. Only got that to the 19, which I would say he was at the in the game he got at the 19th, and they were at the at the 10. So I'll say he only gained 9 yards, which it was 4th and 5. He had no choice but to kick it. Like this is where they kicked it eventually to the Houston Texans, which they ran it for like a few dozen yards until like actually I'd say maybe over a little bit over a few dozen yards, like about I'll say maybe even 60 yards. Like it depends. Like maybe I'm exaggerating a little. Maybe it was like about 40 or 50 yard ish. I'll say maybe 40 ish. But it's where then there was a flag on the play. However, again, this is where he pointed out there was some holding during the run, and then and the receiving team got pushed back. Like when they were at the 50, they got pushed back around the 40-yard line. This is where then let's see, like in this where they didn't really mind a bit. This is where then we got that's where they got C.J. Stroud was trying to throw it right onto his receiver, Stephon Diggs, in the left side. This is where he was under pressure. This is where he had to throw it away, like, or else he would have gotten whipped cream by the defensive tackle and the defensive end on the Houston Texans. This is where. And where they did it like twice, like he did 2 incomplete passes, which it was like 3rd and 10. Like that's where we got the defensive end on the Chicago Bears started running after. That's where he started pointing out that it was the lineman that started it. So the referee agreed, and it was like, okay, false start, like, and it's on the offense of number 28. And he was like, I get the 5 or not 28, 78, which was concealed, but it was his 4th time of being penalized. And I was like, hopefully you don't do this for another 8 times, or else he's gonna put his team in trouble when it comes to of winning this game. And this is where then we got that's where then we got the Houston crowd was making some noise for their favorite team. This is where it's like, come on, man, be loud. And this is where then we got C.J. Stroud was like, all right, I guess this is making me more motivated. This is where he tried to throw it to the possible assassinator, Stephon Diggs. But this is where we got the corner denied the ball by knocking it on off. He's like, not today, not any day, not any day, CJ. And then this is where it was and it was I believe it was Brisker. Yeah, it was Brisker that blocked the reception right onto, and he started hopping around like, no, not today. And this is where they went for a kick, and this is where they put it right into Chicago's 44-yard line, I believe. Yeah, because it rolled right underneath the 40. This is where we got. This is where we got. But this is where, however, Chicago got penalized, and they lost a couple of yards. What am I saying? I mean, it should be like a triple few, I guess you could say, like triple few yards. They got pushed back like at the 29-yard line. Yeah, and this is where. And this is where they begin, like their snap, like to try to make a comeback. Like despite, like it's almost the end of the third quarter, I believe. Yeah, which was like halfway there though. But and it was it was first down. This is where then they tried to go for the snap, but this is where like that's where the shot clock was running out, and then it ended once before wasn't Caleb Williams can even snap the ball for the Bears, and this is where the referee was like delay of game, like, and it's on offense, and it's like, and then it's like that's another 5 yards, which it was like 1st and 15, and this is where he tried to throw it right onto a tight end yeah. And that's where we're giving an update onto Mixon, like onto his injuries. And I was like we cannot have nobody having some very bad medical issues at this time. Like this is very horrible. And then this, the linebacker, I'm not sure if he purposely or accidentally did that, but he should have been paying attention on where his leg was when he's trying to drag him and try to put him down. Like he shouldn't have been grabbing on him and just doing whatever he wanted with him. But he probably accidentally didn't mean to try to hurt his legs. But still, like he should have it should have been watching out on where he was stepping or where he was landing on, like with his legs, like that's why like you have your seeing devices for a good reason. But either way, I want to wish a speedy recovery for Mixon at this very unfortunate time for the Houston Texans. This is where we got Caleb Williams, of the Chicago Bears, however, that try to throw it right onto his intended receiver, which I believe was Carter, I believe. That's where they called it back because it was a pass interference. I'm not Stroud. What I'm talking about, he's on Houston. Williams to Moore, which he successfully did so. He got about a dozen yards, first down and more. That's where then, and no pun intended to DJ, just saying like he got more yardage like while he was at it by getting the first down reception. But this is where then we got but moving on, we got that is where the Chicago Bears got a false start, and then they have it bad much more than the Houston Texans of having a bad night of keep getting some penalty flags, and that's where then we got that pushed back right 5 more yards away where they originally were located. This is where they start the snap at the 45-yard line. This is where he tried to go for. This is where he tried to run past the bottom line of scrimmage to get at least a yard, but he gets manhandled by this guy on the defense on Houston. This is where they nearly got into a huge fight with the guy that hit the Caleb Williams. Then I was getting into it with one of the guys on the offense. This is where they started pushing each other. This is where tensions were getting high. Like saying, like you didn't have to do all that. And this is where he's like this is where then the guy on Houston was like, shut up. And this is where the fans were like, like go get our popcorn. And I was like, luckily the homeless man in the hurricane was not here. But let's hope that the guy that's from Houston, that's a commentator on NXT, is not there because he after all he is from Houston, but it looks like he's too busy to even be in attendance. I mean, sometimes like stars from WWE do not have too much busy time to miss a football game in attendance. So that's not always the case right here. Like that depends. Like if they're not really doing anything. Doing any duties on that day, like for WWE. So I wouldn't doubt that we could see the 5-time WCW champion that could be in the crowd saying like, like this is about to be triple times crazier than when it normally is in NXT. Like what I would see on Tuesdays, when the young boys and girls, like when they go at it, when they start trying to get in each other's necks and try to ring it and try to rip their throats apart, or blah blah blah, well, metaphorically, of course. That's what Booker T would say, but yeah, let's hope there wasn't, along with the homeless man in the hurricane, for them to get excited about this. But anyway, this is where. They eventually split them up. This is where we got with them start pushing each other's helmets off. With one of the guys in Chicago was like, "What did I do with this linebacker being unprofessional?" Al Shaver, but this is where number 58 of the offensive lineman then I'll take that we pushed him right back. He's like if you want to fight, we could do it right here in the sidelines. And then this is where luckily the referees and coaches were there to break it up. But this is where then we got the number 15 receiver was in motion. Is where we got William, like then throw it right onto Williams, I should say, with an S because that is his last name. Is where it throw it right onto the Swift. Is where it ran for 13 yards, like for 10 yards and 10 yards on first down and 3 yards extra. Getting the first down, I was like, wow, that was pretty impressive, even though it was not much. But this is where it was 31. This is where we got Caleb Williams then try to fake pass it to Swift. This is where he tried to throw it to his intended receiver, but he ends up getting sacked. It's where it was none other than who was it? It was like what it was It was Anderson. That's what his name is. It was Anderson that did the sack on the Caleb Williams. Like, he just went directly to him and just went right on top of him and spin him around and hit him back first right into the middle of the Texans logo, saying, like, you just got stomped by the Texans kind of message to the quarterback of Chicago along with the team. This is where one of the commentators hilariously was relieving about Caleb not being injured by saying, like, luckily Chicago did not lose the ball, nor lose the quarterback from that sack after what Anderson just did. And I was like, yeah, no kidding. Luckily, everything worked out for the best. And then Chicago punted back to the Houston Texans, which they gained pretty good yards. They got some I gained some few, but they've been losing some. And I'm gonna get to the skinny part of it. They managed to get out of their yard line of scrimmage, and this is where they went right past enemy territory. They just keep running it and passing it to their running back that was kind of replacing and substituting for Mixon. This is where we got on one play, when they were at the I believe not the pass. I don't think they were passing the material. At least not yet. They were still at their 30. This is where he tried to throw it right onto a receiver, right into the right, but it was an incomplete pass. It went straight right into the not audience, the out of bounds and the what's that side? And the sidelines is where then we got what's his name? CJ Stroud. It was 113, 120. This word then he tried to throw it to the running back, but this is where he got tipped over. It got caught by Chicago's defense. It was Gordon, that's what his name is. Number 6, Gordon. That's where he knew he had it with one hand, but he managed to let it loose. Once he fell down, it bounced right on. Even though he still touched it, it still didn't count as an interception. And that's where it's oh, come on. If he had the underhand in, maybe it would have been an interception, but it was an incomplete pass. But it is, but Chicago, however, was not letting that go without a fight. That's where they almost won the challenge, but by one little detail prevented them of doing so. With the referees looking at the hands, with the hands were not fully possessed of the ball in the interception, so it it was just an incomplete pass, and that was 3rd and 10. This is where they managed to get stopped at 4th down by the Chicago defense. This is where we got yeah, the Houston kicked the ball right back to Chicago, which their return man was their one of their primary receivers, which was Carter. That's where they got back in the field. Like they were at near the, I'll say the 20, I'll say 5-yard line. No, it was 30. It was actually like the 35-yard line. That's where you got like that's where they got like 6 yards from Swift, like with Williams passing it to him. That's where they try to go like again, like by run. Was it his running yard? Was it? That's where he passed it right on to the same running back, but he didn't really went nowhere, maybe barely a yard, if not a half a yard. But that's where then the referee then explained who was penalized like for a holding penalty, and it was none other than the defense this time, which was Houston Texans on number 91. I was very surprised. I thought this was going to be on Chicago, but no, the tables have been turned. This is where it was them. This is where we got what's that's where Caleb passed it to Swift. This is where he tried to run it right up for first, but he ends up getting only hardly a second down. Like after getting an automatic first down from the referees, like we're penalizing on the Houston, like where them stopping them right on the play. This is where this is where they start playing more seriously. This is where they passed. This is where he passed it to DJ Moore, even though he didn't get a first down, but he managed to get like about 3 yards. But it was called back due to a holding penalty right onto the offense, which was the running back Swift, which he was holding on to the defense onto Houston. It was on but it was on to the guy number 24, I believe. Yeah, it was number 24 of the Houston Texans. And this is where then we got it was like, but they got pushed back right about 10 yards. Yeah, it was they were like 2nd and 16. That's where he passed it to Herbert, but he only got like about a 2-yard gain, like at the line. Like that, that's where they only got like, but it's where they but I but it's where it was third down at this time. Like, yeah, after gaining the yards is where like it was still wait, that's at 16 on second. I believe it was like 2nd and 18 actually, which it was like 2nd and 8 originally when they went for the first play, but it got called back due to a holding penalty. But this is where we got yeah, it was 3rd and 16. This is where Caleb Williams and passed it to Moore, but it was intercepted by Houston. It was Stigley like in the corner position. They did a little celebration pose right onto their end zone. That's where they like with him kneeling down with the crossed over shoulder arms. Is where then we got Houston's offense came out like, and they were in a very happy mood. But it's where but it was a complete but it was a complete opposite with the Chicago defense, especially one in particular. It was what's his name? Gordon, number 6, like the linebacker, with him just went right into the running back of who was started beating it down. And I believe like I'm not sure if he got. I don't think he had, and I was very shocked. But yeah, this had me shocked. The learn all this, and I was like, how did he deny got penalized like for doing unsportsmanlike conduct to his opponent tonight, like on this game, if not be suspended for the rest of the game, like for being for unnecessary roughness, or or unsportsmanlike conduct or whatever penalty that he should have been punished by. But yeah, they got pushed back 5 yards. It was second and 15, like around the I'll say the 30. No, I don't think it was the 30. It was the 29-yard line or 28. I think it was 28. This is where then that's where he got what's that's where then Stroud threw it to Stephon Diggs, which he only got like which he got like a gain of 5 or 6 after this play. This is where the game ended. This quarter ended because it was the end of third quarter. And then I'm sorry I did not give no accurate points directly. Like it was 3-0 in the first round, and then the second quarter it was like they got like about like a touchdown. So that's like about like 13 points for the Texans, and then Chicago got like about 7 points. Like, but yeah, at the end of the third quarter, it was 16 and 10. But yeah, let's just say they're going to be scoring some more. But even though it's not much, they're just going to. Let's say it was like this, like they got chances. Like Houston got a chance of scoring one more time, but not like in a touchdown. Well. Not like I was like, yeah, it was not like exactly a touchdown. Same goes with Chicago. That's the only spoiler I'm going to be giving up about this game. But we're going to talk about why they did not get why that they didn't really score much on the next quarter, which was at the fourth. But yeah, like on the third quarter, however, it was at 0-0 basically. Yeah, they didn't really score much. So yeah, forget about like what just happened there. But yeah, they continued. They managed to get the first down. But on the next drive, it was second down because their run they only got 1 yard. This is where we got Chicago was definitely playing like they should have been in the first round with. Which was a linebacker Sam Bourne, I believe that's what his name is, that sacked what's his name? CJ Stroud. Like you just went straight right at him and just ramsacked him and made him lose about how many yards? Like about 7 yards, which was like 3rd and 17. They were pushed back out of field goal range, like near the 50, like nearly back into their field. This is where he threw it to Collins and threw a quick throw, like if he was Patrick Mahomes throwing to Travis Kelce, but he only got like about exactly 7 yards, what they just lost, which it was like 4th and 10 now. This is where they brought out their kicker. Not kicker. Yeah, they did kick. Like they went for a field goal kick, and then this where, and they got the field goal. This where, this is where it was like 19 to 19. It was about about 19 to 10 now, like a 9-point game, like almost like beating them by 10 points. I was like, yeah, all right, Chicago, if y'all planning on winning this, even despite losing by like a touchdown in the 2-point safety kind of like position, or even 3 field goals, which that was the case, of course. Like they got like 3 extra field goals along with the first one. Like they got in the first field goal, but the thing was like it was not like 4 straight field goals in a row. It was like a field goal, touchdown, did 3 straight field goals. But yeah, that's where the Chicago tried to bounce right back from this, but after they got the ball, that's where he passed it to Swift, but he only got like 3 yards. But it was 2nd and 7. That's where he tried to launch it to a receiver to the left side, but it ends up being incomplete. And it was 3rd and 7. That's where they switch out running backs. They were still at the 9-yard line, I believe. Yeah, that's where they got But this is where then we got what's his name? This is where then what's his name? Caleb Williams then try to throw it to anybody that was open, but before he can even react is where he got sacked by defensive tackle Mario Edwards, that's what his name is, which he start doing like some leg twirling and rolling your boat kind of dance moves, like going side to side. And yeah, and they lost more yards, but I was surprised that they did not sack him in the end zone and only at the 1 yard. But I was like, wow, like he just literally just stopped them right onto this play. And yeah, they was like a yard away from giving Houston a 2-point safety, making that 21-10. Luckily for Chicago, that did not happen. Yeah, or else that would have been more worse than being a 9-point game. This is where they had no choice but to punt it. This is where the intended receiver of the special teams retrieved the ball, but only got like at the 44-yard line from the Bears, and this is where Caleb was. No, not Caleb. CJ Stroud was like, yeah, like this is looking pretty good. This is where Caleb Williams was not very so pleased or thrilled about this game, like because like it was from like 15 minutes of the fourth quarter now being like a little bit over 9 minutes, which it was like 4.5 minutes already been run down. This is where we got. This is where then we got what's his name? Stroud threw it to Akers, like about a 7-yard run. It was second and 3. Second and 3 at the 36-yard line. This is where. And where he got a couple of his receivers, Stroud got a couple of his receivers from Houston, like were lining up. This is where it passed it right up to Akers, which he did got the 3 yards and more. Like he got into the 22-yard line. That was like about what yard line they were at. They were at 36, so he gained like about 14 yards on that play. He got 10-yard. He got the 3 yards, and he got an extra 11 yards. Like if he just got like a first down and a half, this is where then they then continued their run, probably trying to gain more yards like this, but they managed to get stopped by the Chicago defense. Like there was no really use like it it looked like it was about to be. There's no use of them playing better now, but they still have quite a chance though because it was a little bit a little bit under 8 minutes left, which was like 7:50. This is where after they stopped him on the play with Akins of the Houston Texans, I was understudying for Nixon. Like only got like about 2 yards, was it? But this is where they try to gain a couple more yards, which it only got it only gained 1 yard. But this is where Akins got 4 yards, which it was exactly at the 20, which it was like 3rd and 5 after that play. And then this is where they showed a shout out of Snoop Dogg, like saying he wants to give a shout out to his boy CJ on the Houston Texans, like he's a legend, and then this is where he's like yeah, keep changing the game, and he's like, let's go and win this game. And yeah, that was pretty cool of the legendary rapper for giving him a video message to the Houston football player, most specifically a quarterback, I should say, in this position. The Houston quarterback, of course. I should have just said that in the first place. But yeah, kudos to the legendary rapper of doing that. That was very cool of him. But this is where we got this is where we nearly saw a touchdown though, with what's his name, CJ Stroud, doing right onto what's his name to right onto Collins. This is where he dodged two guys in the safety and corner position and went directly in the end zone, but unfortunately they got called back due to a penalty of a holding one. And this is where they tried again. This is where they finally got a first and goal, passing it to the tight end, who at the gain of 16 after they got pushed back 5 yards. But this is where we talk about the Dalton Schultz, I believe that's what his name is, Dalton Schultz. This is where he got a gain of 16. He was at the 4 yard line, which they were first and goal, and in the red zone, like nearly about to make a touchdown. Is where and our anchor tried to run it, but he hardly got like 1 yard from that play. Like, unfortunately, it was second and goal. It's where, but it's where the Bears, on the second play, that's where they made a huge red zone turnover after this play. When Chicago tried, I mean not Chicago, Houston tried to run it with Akins again, but they stripped the ball out. This is where somebody on the defense of Chicago recovered the ball, which was none other than, let's see, it was and that was a huge game changer right there. Well, not that much of a game changer, but I'll say maybe a quarter of a game changer at this point, because they didn't really did much on this ball. They changed the ball, it was Byer that got the recovery from Akins accidentally dropped the ball. It was Byer of the Chicago Bears retrieved the ball. That's where they started off at I'll say it's the 3 or 4 yard line, if I'm not mistaken, because they still had like 6 minutes left, of trying to get at least like a touchdown and a field goal for the win, at least, if not more touchdowns. Is where we got Williams passed it to his intended receiver, which was what's his name, Moore, but he got denied by the safety on the Houston Texans. This is where they try to do it again at 3rd and 9, after they only got a run with their running back Swift, which somebody better give him a medal. I'm not sure you would give him the player of the game on the fact that they exactly did not get the dub, but they did work hard to try to make a comeback, but they were just a puny pinch of a mile short away from winning. But this is where Caleb's that was getting tired of not getting complete passes, so he's like, screw it, and he just ran until he got the 30-yard line, slipped and slide, which he taught the offense how to properly run it and dodge the defense, which he gained about 20, maybe 6 yards after that play, or no, maybe even 25 yards even that play. Yeah. That's where then they started at they started right or maybe a little bit under the 30. Maybe we got about 20, maybe 26, 27. Maybe at the 26 or maybe at the 28 or 27 or 28 yard line. Let me rephrase that, because they were at the 5. So I'll say this was a gain of 22, 23. Of course, maybe a 23. That's where they're trying to pass it to the DJ Moore, which he only got about 7 yards, which it was 2nd and 3. This is where then he passed it right on to. I tried to pass it to Moore again, but he way overthrew it. Even if he was wide open, it would have been impossible for him to catch it. This is where it was 3rd and 3 now. Due to the mistakable overthrow. This is where he's trying to throw Williams throw it right on to. That's where it was the tight end. That's where he go to his tight end Kamado, whatever his name is. It was, but he managed to get the first down and more, gaining 3 and more. Kamado, that's what his name is, Kamado. He gained about I'll say 3 yards, and then maybe an extra. I'll say they were just at the third. No, they were at the 34. So I'll say they were at 45. So about a gain of 9. He got 3 and an extra 6 yards. This is where they did a no huddle before it was time for that, because normally you do that when it's near the 2-minute warning. But it was they still had enough time. It was 4:40, 4 minutes and 40 seconds is where we got Williams throwing it right onto Comidio, but this where it was an unnecessary. I think it was on Petrie, the guy, the safety that hit him way too hard, hit him like helmet to helmet. Like this is where it was a blessing in disguise for Chicago, which they got an automatic first down, I believe. That's where they were like past the 50 and like it got 10 yards automatically. This is where it like they were like at the they're like near the excuse me like maybe like 40 at the 49 48 yard line is where then we got this is where the defensive lineman nearly sacked him. He was under pressure. This is where we got Williams moving out of the way and trying to throw it away. This is where it was 3rd and 4 after they ran to like about 6 yards. And this is where they try to find a play that they can easily get inside the right there. Like this is where they're trying to throw this is where they try to throw it away to the right side, but this is where the vibe throw. This is where they said like it was he said that it was an intentional. He claimed that was an intentional grounding, but he was trying to throw it right to his intended receiver, but he got under the pressure. That shouldn't be an illegal pass. But illegal formation, or whatever the referee explained it, that was the penalty. But either way, they lost 10 yards. It was 3rd and 14. They try to do their best to try to gain some yards, at least to get the field goal range. This is where Williams threw it right onto Moore, but this is where the flag, however, on the play. Again, the referee explained it was a pass interference penalty, or it wasn't a pass. No, it was a roughing the passer, which was the defensive tackle Edwards, Mario Edwards Jr. Of course, that he hit him at the last minute, like after he already threw the ball out. Is where then they gained like more yardage, like in an automatic first down at I'll say the 41. This where then he snaps the ball. This where then they try to throw it to somebody that's the legal man, but he decided to slide it down for a gain of a yard, which they were like at the. No, I think they called it back like it wasn't a gain of a yard. It was nowhere. Like he just slid down. Like this is where he passes to what's his name it was what's his name. It was Bomer. That's what I believe his name is. This is where it was 3rd and, but however, it was like 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4. This is where they start playing the Undertaker's music again, like with the ring bells. It was 3rd and 4. Yeah, indeed. And this is where I was like, they must be a massive fan of the dead man. Like, and it's very funny and ironic that they're playing it, and he happens to be from this state in particular, which is Texas. But this is where then Caleb Williamson got her up the team, like of the offense, and it was like, all right, like we need to get on our A game and make it in the end zone, like or at least in the or even just getting the field goal, more in field goal range. But this is where he tried to throw it right onto DJ Diggs, not DJ, DJ Moore. That's what his name is. This is where he tripped over. He was like, and that's where he took off his helmet. This is where he was frustrated, and he went directly right into the sideline. They put out the kicker, which was Cairo Santos. He got the field goal kick, and he went a little bit way too much into the left, but he managed to get right into the uprights for the kick, and it was 13-19, and that's where they kicked the ball right onto the Buffalo, the Houston Texans. And they wouldn't stop talking about the Saints destroying the Dallas Cowboys today. And then they even talked about the Chiefs defeating the Cincinnati Bengals 26-25. And then and it was that was where the games of the Sunday afternoon those are the best games of the Sunday afternoon games of their weekly Sunday shows, like Sunday game shows. They have football games, I should say. of the NFL. Of course, this is where we got Stroud was trying to run it in for a first down. That's where he managed to get the first down. Like once he got the ball, but it got this is where they had pushed back because there was they got penalized for illegal hands to the face, like in which we saw exactly what they meant, like because the linebacker on Chicago had no face mask on, like and this yeah, like they got pushed back 10 yards, which was like 3rd and 17 by the time when this happened. This is where try to do their best to try to get this is where we tried to throw to Stephon Diggs, but he only got like about maybe 10 yards. Like, and I was like, yeah, unfortunately, like for what's like he passed it to Stephon Diggs. This is where yeah, he passed it right in a quick play, trying to run it in, but he only looked like he got like about like maybe like he got it to 35, so it was like a 3-yard gain, perhaps. Yeah, he only got like a 3-yard gain. It was like 4th and 14. Like, and yeah, and I was like, yeah, poor soon to be assassinator Diggs, and also what's his name? And CJ Stroud and the rest of the Texans, yeah, they had to kick it. That's where that was the case. They kicked it right into the Chicago. Like in Chicago, only got like about like less than 2 minutes. Actually, like a little bit over a minute and a half left, like to make a comeback. This is where like they. is where then we saw Caleb Williams try to do his best to try to throw it to his intended receiver. He did pretty good by throwing to what's his name to his number 15 receiver, which it was none other than who was it? It was at the 20-yard line. Roma Duje, yeah, that's what his name is. Romo Duje. He got at the he got like at the 47-yard line, which that was a gain of 27. That's where then we got Caleb Williams. Like, okay, like no time to be wasting. Like we need to get more of that. Like we're like gaining some momentum, but we need to maintain it and do it more consistently. Like for due to like us losing lost time. This is where we try to do it again. But that's where he tried to throw it to his other receiver, like. That's number 14. It was Gerald Lefter. Yeah, that's what his name is. Like, yeah, he dropped it. This was like, oh, come on. Like, accidents happen, but not this time. This is where then we got he eventually got sacked by D'Lo Hunter, I believe that's what his name is. He went bear hugging, splashed right onto him. That's where he was like, he thought, what's that, spring rolling right onto the turf. He was like, yeah, like I was gonna do that. That's where we got Caleb Williams was sarcastic, was like in response, staring. I was like, yeah, unfortunately, this is where he was like, but no time to be worrying what they're doing and celebrating, right? Because we still got a chance. This is where we got Williams then try to go for a throw, but he gets manhandled by 3 different guys on the defense. But that's where we got but this is where there was the flag on the play. However, this is where the penalty was on the offense, though. However, and this is where they explained that it was an illegal formation. It's where it's like that penalty was declined as the result of the play. The fourth down, like now it gets 4th and 17 is where they try to go for. This is where like this was no more point of like there was this is where I was thinking like, yeah, like there was no point to keep out the orange accessories. This is where I already been and put them right in my box, and then getting ready to put on my blue masking cape because I already know what's gonna happen. I was like, but maybe it could be a miracle. We could see them making a touchdown at at the last second, like with them snapping the ball and then going for the ball, trying to throw it right onto on any receiver, but that did not happen because once he tried to launch it right up to his intended receiver that was on the right, number 15, Romo the Monde, I believe that's what his name is. All right, but anyway, yeah, that's where he failed to throw it because he overthrew it right into the right, way too much into the right. It was an incomplete pass. Like this is where the Houston Texans took over. This is where they did their kneels, and then yeah, that's how the game ended with the Houston Texans getting the win right over the Chicago Bears at 9, the score at the end being 19 to 13, I believe. Yeah, which the Houston Texans were remaining unbeatable. Tonight, just like the Kansas City Chiefs, like when they beat Cincinnati, which luckily the Cincinnati Bengals are 0-0. Not 0, 0-2. Why did it say 0? 0-2, of course. Yeah, they lost 0-2, and I was very happy about that. And yeah, y'all already know, like for those that have been watching my podcast for over a year now, y'all know that I really do not like Cincinnati, especially their football team, the Bengals. Like they're just horrible. Yeah. At least on your host the SNA your host SNA himself's eyes, of course. That I just do not find no fondness with the Ohio's with one of Ohio's biggest cities in their state, of course, like next to Cleveland. But Cleveland, I don't see that much bad things about it. But Cincinnati, at least at this time, not a big fan of that city. Like, and I'm glad I'm not from there. That's all I'm gonna put it. Like, not trying to show my negativity or have any negativity onto them, but just saying, like, I'm just not quite of a fan of them. But yeah, that's the end of this Sunday night football game. Yeah, big, humongous congratulations, I should say, to the Houston Texans, including what's his name, C.J. Stroud, and and the rest of the team. Like, but yeah, he was the MVP of the night, like on this game, like at least on Sunday night football side of things. But if I had to give the MVP like to anybody of the quarterback, but yeah, I'll say, and I have to give kudos to the receiver on the Houston Texans. That was number one. That's somebody that deserves a medal of the player of the night on Sunday Night Football. Is what's his name? Miko Collins. That's what his name is. And also, I'll say the person I would give the quarterback to, the quarterback MVP of the night. Like I would give it to. I would say Patrick Mahomes, but he was in the second fewest, the fewest of the second best on today's game. So I'm not sure. I'll say much rather give it to the quarterback on the New Orleans Saints. I totally forget his name, but let me know in the comments down below by just putting it right down there if you want to. But yeah, I'll say the players of the night of Sunday Night Football like deserve to get a medal is definitely the quarterback, C.J. Stroud, and also his favorite receiver that he's been throwing it to all night, and that was what's his name, Miko Collins. He's been throwing it to him more than he was with Stephon Diggs. It seems like Stephon Diggs is finally being known as the second best quarterback on the football team, because when he was on both Buffalo and the Minnesota Vikings, like he was known as like the number one best wide receiver of the NFL. Yeah. But like he was the best. It was the number one best wide receiver on the league, I should say, of the Minnesota Vikings and the Buffalo Bills as well. So yeah, this is very shocking to see the soon-to-be assassinator like to be the second best receiver of a football team. But we're just gonna have to wait and see like what else the Houston Texans have to offer to them. And I need to look on the schedule if they happen to face my favorite team, the Chiefs. But maybe they will, because they were the AFC South Division champions, because that's what the commentators even mentioned. But I remember seeing them winning and also was in the playoffs, like in the South Division. So we're probably going to be playing them later on in the season. So yeah, like. So the Chiefs are probably going to be playing them, on later on in the season. So the Chiefs don't have to worry about playing against them. But do you think they're going to remain undefeated, or do you think they're going to get like a very large number, like have a best top record of the AFC side of the playoff line, like maybe like 15-2, maybe 14-3? 13-4, perhaps? Let me know either way about what's your opinion on that matter in the comments down below. But maybe I'll say more likely a 12-5. I'll say maybe they'd be unbeatable on their division, but for now, like on their division, maybe with AFC tie with teams like the Chiefs, but I'll say for now, but don't get me wrong, like they're looking good, like in teams like the Chiefs and Baltimore and who else, like in like Pittsburgh and I'll say not Baltimore right now because they just lost to the Raiders. Of course, that's another team that just lost today. And I feel sorry for, hopefully that they bounce back next week, like after this devastating loss. I was like, I was thinking to myself, like, how did they lose to the arch rivals of the AFC, of the Chiefs in the AFC West, like the Raiders, like that's known to be the worst team in the division. Like maybe they got some good teams, and I heard the Raiders are like 2-0 right now, or I could be mistaken, and they're 1-1. I need to do a research about this, right now to look if I can find them, but maybe I should wait late. Maybe I should talk about this on the next video, which I'm gonna be knowing for sure what their record is. But maybe I should just do it right now because since I'm on Google, I should just search up the Vegas Raiders. They're 1-1, with the Chiefs and the Chargers being 2-0, and the Broncos are 0-2. But let me know about this in the comments below. With a team that's still very mediocre though at the same time. But the number one thing that the number one arch rival of the AFC West that the Chiefs need to worry about is the San Diego Chargers. I'm trying to sound like my dad now. Like it's not San Diego. It's the Los Angeles Chargers, because they've left since 2017. That was like 7 years ago. Like I should know that. Why I'm still thinking it's still like 2016 is the latest. Well, let me know. But let me know about who could possibly win at Super Bowl 59, along with who's going to be participating in the playoffs to get there in the tournament. Who's going to get the better record than the others in the division? Who's going to be winning the AFC West, South, North, and East, the championship divisions to get in the playoffs, along with the NFC's North and West and South and East division as well. And I think the Houston Texans are going to win another South Division championship if their players can stay healthy, especially with the CJ Stroud and Miko, what's the name? Collins and Stephon Diggs, being the few to maintain their keeping away from very bad health situations and staying away from being injured. I think that they will be I'll say at least in the third place seed, I guess you could say the third seed of the AFC playoff picture. And let me know in the comments below, or do you think they're going to make it to the Super Bowl this coming year, or are going to just make it to the AFC Championship division, which I don't know why I bring it up. I thought I might ask you guys these questions, but it's your job to answer them in the comments down below. And what are your thoughts on the Chicago Bears finding a way to bouncing back from this loss? And do you think that they're going to find a way to do so and maintain that they have much more of a positive record rather than a negative one in order to get into the playoffs? Do you think they have a chance of making it to the playoffs this year? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But it seemed like that, yeah, that they were not the better team for the Houston Texans tonight. But yeah, it was very fun to watch it anyways, even though it wasn't the best game I watched of the day. But it still was really good. I'll give it like the top 5 spot, like of a really interesting game to watch on tonight's on tonight on tonight's week, I guess you could say, which is week 2, of course. But that's all for tonight. And let me know in the comments down below for next week's Sunday Night Football game, which I'm going to be reviewing that, which will be the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Atlanta Falcons in the Benz Stadium, I believe, in Atlanta, Georgia, which I believe is Mercedes-Benz Stadium, But yeah, let me know down in the comments section right down below what's tomorrow's night's video. So make sure to check Wrestling News video where I'm going to be talking about the wildest wrestling news stories that you assassinators need to know from the I'll say the WrestleZone article, which will be September 16th. And also make sure to check out my Monday Night Raw review video where I'm going to be talking about what went down on tomorrow night's WWE's flagship Red Brand show, with Braun Strowman taking on Big Bronson Reed. Perhaps it's going to be a street fight match. And then we also got JD McDonough and Finn Balor of the Judgment Day defend their World Tag Team Championship against the Awesome Truth for in a rematch from a couple months ago. No, that's the Awesome Truth. No, it's the New Day. I got to get mixed up. I'm so sorry. It's JD McDonough, Finn Balor against the New Day, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston for the World Tag Team Championships. And also we got what other match? Oh yeah, Damian Priest versus Dirty Dominic Mysterio as well. And let me know in the comment section right down below who's going to win any of these respectively. That's very. And we're going to be seeing the return of CM Punk breaking the silence on what happened a couple weeks ago when Drew McIntyre brutally assaulted him by beating him up in a bloody pulp, and what he has to say in response to that, and him and what he could possibly promise Drew McIntyre in their future match at October 5th for Bad Blood, which I'm so excited to see all of this, and I can't wait for on the road to Bad Blood with these future upcoming shows going to be unfolded, what's the build up to the matches on the pay-per-view, who should we predict who's going to be winning these matches respectively that have been announced for the Bad Blood pay-per-view. And the only match that we're probably missing is Gunther versus Sami Zayn, which we're going to continue to see Gunther keep denying Sami until maybe until the go-home show of Monday Night Raw, and until the go-home show of Raw, and that's when Gunther finally being convinced with Sami Zayn, keep bothering him, and then saying and giving him a reminder who was the guy that beat him for the Intercontinental, who beat him for his long-awaited over 600-day reign as Intercontinental Champion. And then this is where we can finally see it be confirmed, which will probably be on I'll say the September 23rd edition of Raw. No, I'll say no, the 29th. I'll say no, it will be the 29th, was it? Or the 30th? I think it will be the 30th. Yeah, the September 30th edition of Raw. But so make sure to stay tuned for all that, when that unfolds. But for now, we're going to be seeing what's going to be on tomorrow night's Monday Night Raw. Well, it's probably about to be the next day, so I guess I'm right about that. But I'm going to say goodbye to you all for now and wish you guys all a very super ninja awesome night. And I'll see you guys soon on the next video with some more SNA content. Until we meet again, Super Ninja Austin out of here. Bye-bye, my assassinators. See you guys tomorrow afternoon. Thank you guys for watching to the very end of this video. Now, I promise you, there's going to be plenty more of these NFL review videos along with AEW and WWE, I like to even the odds in wrestling. So just stay tuned for some more SNA videos. Bye bye.